Brought to you by Gamezy. Win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Download the app now.
It's a double header in the IPL, and in the first game, the Mumbai Indians, the 5-time champions who have lost 5 games in a row at the start of the season, are going to take on the Lucknow Super Giants. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about our top fantasy picks, starting with the budget buys. Among the budget buys, I have gone in with 2 players from Mumbai Indians. I have picked Tilak Verma, who has been really impressive and was unlucky to get run out after scoring those 36 runs in the last game. And I have also picked Murugan Ashwin, who again gets you wickets even though he goes for a few runs, but is a genuine wicket taker, and that we have seen in this IPL so far. So Tilak Verma and Murugan Ashwin are my budget buys from Mumbai Indians. From the Lucknow Super Giants, I have picked 3 players, and I think you can have all 3 in your side. I have picked, of course, Ravi Bishnoi, another leg spinner who is doing really well this season. So Ravi Bishnoi is there. How can I not pick Avesh Khan? I know that he's not looked that effective at times, but he is somebody who will give you those wickets at the death. So Avesh Khan, another great choice. He picked 4 wickets in one of those games, right? Earlier. So Avesh Khan is there. And I've also picked Deepak Hooda. We haven't seen him bowl at all, but maybe at some stage of the tournament, we'll also see him again. Bowl at all, I meant bowl at all in the last couple of games, but before that he was bowling. But maybe he'll start bowling again 1 or 2 overs. But apart from that, batting at 3 down is a good choice among your budget buys. Overseas options. We know Mumbai Indians really don't feel like playing their overseas options. In one of the games earlier, they only played 2 of them. But yes, Devor Brevis was very impressive. Those 4 sixes of Rahul Chahar and the way he smashed them and the distance they travelled was amazing to watch. Brevis will play. Pollard, even though he really hasn't done much this season, will again play. So these 2 are sure shot inclusions. The only bone of contention is whether somebody like a Tim David gets a game. Maybe because they only played 3 overseas players last time around, and the third option was Timmel Mills, who went for quite a few runs and did not take a wicket on his return to the 11. They've got options like Fabian Allen, they've got Riley Meredith and Daniel Sams, who they started with, but unfortunately he had to go out because he wasn't performing well and was giving away a lot of runs. So again, it's entirely up to Mumbai Indians who they think makes up for their best combination, is part of their best combination. Maybe Fabian Allen gets a game tomorrow because we want to see, they want to try left arm orthodox. Could be different variety that they might be looking at. And apart from Fabian Allen, Tim David also I think should get another chance. He only played those first 2 games, and after that we haven't seen him at all. Apart from Mumbai Indians, Lucknow Super Giants. Well, we know who the 4 overseas players were last game, and all of them did well, even though they lost the game by 3 runs. So Quinton de Kock will play, Jason Holder will play. Marcus Stoinis in his first game scored 40 odd runs. It was rather unfortunate for him that he couldn't take his side to victory, which he probably should have, but he'll still keep his place in the side. And Dushmanta Chamira was good with the ball. He did not take up a wicket, but he bowled 4 overs and gave away only 22 runs. So again, Dushmanta Chamira is somebody who will be there in that 11 for me. So those were your overseas options. Captaincy choices. Mumbai Indians, well, there's only one who I'm going to make my captain if I'm picking a captain from the Mumbai Indians, and that's Surya Kumar Yadav. Everybody else has been so, I would say, rather inconsistent that I don't want to pick somebody who has not been scoring enough runs. Yes, you can take a punt on Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Jasprit Bumrah for that matter, but the consistency shown by Surya Kumar Yadav is something incredible. So I'm going to pick him as my captain or vice captain for this game. And then Lucknow Super Giants, 3 options I'll give you. KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock. Every game I have talked about these 2 being the sort of, I don't know, I think apart from these 2, you could look at somebody like Jason Holder. But KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock at the top of the order, they give you that stability. Both of them have scored most number of runs for Lucknow Super Giants, if I'm not wrong, apart from Deepak Hooda. So KL Rahul, he hasn't really set the tournament on fire, but yes, 150 if I'm not wrong, and 140 odd scores somewhere in there. And maybe this game and this day is one where he can perform against Mumbai and get a big score. Quinton de Kock, last two games, scored 80 odd in one, scored 39 in the last one. Again, a good choice. And then Jason Holder. Why I think Jason Holder is a decent choice? Because he bowls 4 overs and he also can give you those 20-30 runs at the end. So those are my captaincy choices. So Fantasy 11, I have gone with Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav. Then I have also picked Tilak Verma, Devil Brevis, Deepak Hooda. Among the bowlers, I have gone with Jason Holder, who's more like an all-rounder. But Jason Holder is there, Avesh Khan is there, Ravi Bishnoi, Jasprit Bumrah and Murugan Ashwin. They complete my 11 for this game. And now let's move on to the second game, which is Delhi versus Bangalore. And let's start with the budget buys first. Delhi versus Bangalore, and among the budget buys, I have picked 3 players from the Delhi Capitals. Khalil Ahmed, you know that Khalil Ahmed has been very impressive this season. At one point, they had dropped him, in fact, when they included Mustafizur in their side. They had decided that they don't want another left arm option. But then what happened last game? He came back into the side and picked 3 crucial wickets. So Khalil Ahmed is a good choice for me. Apart from Khalil Ahmed, Lalit Yadav, because he bats 3 or 4 down and then he'll bowl at least 1 or 2 overs. So I think is a very decent option among your budget buys. But the biggest of them all from the Delhi Capitals is one guy who's shown this IPL. What he's been doing is amazing. Again, 4 wickets in the last game. So why not have Kuldeep Yadav, who's been consistently, like Chahal, he's also been consistently taking wickets. So definitely a big pick among your budget buys. And now let's talk about Royal Challengers Bangalore. Again, I've also thought about 3 players. Suyash Prabhudesai impressed one and all with his batting. The first game he was playing in IPL and he never looked at sea. It felt like somebody who has batted at least 20-30 games who was batting out there when Suyash Prabhudesai was out there in the middle. So Prabhudesai, one, can be a good pick. Shahbaz Ahmed has really impressed me this season. Last game, even though they lost, scored 41 runs again, and it was his partnership with Suyash Prabhudesai that kept them in the game. So again, these 2 for me are big picks. You may or may not want to pick Anuj Rawat in your side. That's entirely up to you, because Anuj Rawat did well in that one game where he scored 66 runs, but apart from that, we haven't seen a lot of him. So those 3 could be our budget buys from Royal Challengers Bangalore. Overseas options. Last game, Delhi Capitals played only 3 overseas players, and they were David Warner, Robman Pal and Mustafizur Rahman. And this game, again, I'm not sure what combinations they'll be looking at, but maybe if Mitchell Marsh is fit, he definitely slots into that 11 the moment he's fit. But I'm not sure whether he's available. So I also don't know whether they can play somebody like a Tim Seifert, because let's be honest, Robman Pal really hasn't produced anything that would make Ricky Ponting keep him in the side. So maybe they could take another look at somebody like a Tim Seifert. Maybe Tim Seifert gets another game. And apart from that, maybe Enric Noki comes back into the side. It was surprising that he wasn't part of the 11 in the last game. The game before that, he was asked to leave. Like, he was bowling, he bowled 2 beamers, and then the umpire told him you can't bowl anymore. So maybe Enric Nokia comes back into the 11 if he's fit enough, because let's be honest, he's coming back from a long injury layoff, and fitness at such times can be risky. We saw that with Deepak Chair, who was coming back from an injury and then had a back injury and got ruled out. So I'm sure they are going to take all the necessary precautions with somebody like Enric Nokia. But yes, if he's fit enough, I think he might also come back in, and then Robman Pal may or may not get another chance. Maybe Tim Seifert they could get, or Mitchell Marsh for that matter if he's available. RCB, I think their overseas options are sorted, and I don't think that's going to change. Faf du Plessis, Glenn Maxwell, and then you have got a Varindu Hasaranga and a Josh Hazelwood. All 4 will play. So those are your overseas options from these 2 teams. Captaincy choices. So let's see. For me, the 2 best choices from Delhi Capitals are Prithvi Shaw and David Warner. And apart from them, I don't think I'm too comfortable making anybody else my captain. Maybe Mitchell Marsh if he's fit enough to bat and bowl both. But Prithvi Shaw, David Warner, last game both got 50s. Again, great picks. Then among the Royal Challengers Bangalore, again lots of options. Virat Kohli, very impressive in that one game where he should have gotten a 50, but the third umpire, I don't know how he saw that was out, but well, he gave him out. Virat Kohli, I think so. It's a problem that he did not, he doesn't even know himself what he needs to do to score those big runs, because he looks in form, but then he gets out. Last game against Mukesh Chaudhary, you thought he could score some runs, but then he lifted one straight into the hands of deep backward square. So Virat Kohli, maybe you can take a punt on him, because you never know what you're going to get, and the kind of player Virat Kohli is, you expect lots of runs from him, right? So Virat Kohli is a good choice. But my favorite of the lot is Glenn Maxwell, because let's be honest, Glenn Maxwell gives you bowled 3 overs in the last game and scored 20 odd runs, quick fire runs, and if he gets going with his bat, there's no stopping him, boss. He can score a lot of runs. So Glenn Maxwell is again a great pick, and because he'll give you those 2-3 overs, he is my favorite among the captaincy choices from the Royal Challengers Bangalore. So now let's look at my fantasy 11. My fantasy 11 from this side, I've picked both David Warner and Prithvi Shaw. Then among the batsmen, I've also picked Virat Kohli, Faf du Plessis from the RCB. Among the all-rounders, I've gone with Glenn Maxwell, Lalit Yadav, Vanindu Hasaranga and Shahbaz Ahmed. So those 4 are there. And then among the bowlers, I've picked Mustafizur, Kuldeep and Khalil. All 3 are from the Delhi Capitals. So guys, what are you waiting for? Please download the Gamezy app from the description below, because you can win up to 5 crore rupees in daily prizes. You can make teams before the start of the game, during the mid-innings break, and then those 5-over-sider contests that you can join every now and then. So what are you waiting for? Please download the app through that link below and make your team right now. Thank you for watching.